Who else is in on this job?
Just us three.
Yeah. Three-way split. Well, what do you say, Margot?
No guns.
What? Me?
I know you better. You're a trigger-happy little...
It's all right, Margot. It's all right. No guns. We won't need them on this. It'll be a pushover. Hey, Bass?
Yeah. Pushover.
Put that cigarette out, Mouse.
Oh, yeah, sure, Mr. Fletcher.
What a waste.
You want it? You can have it.
Oh, you little...
Are you satisfied now? Are you?
How bad is it?
Oh, I think it's all right. I'm just a bit stunned.
It doesn't look too bad. You better get sisters to take a look at it, just in case.
Oh, no, we may be needed here.
Well, they're all locked in there. There's not much more they can do now. Go on, you get along to the examination room. I can handle it here.
Well, at least they seem to have quietened down. Do you want me to send up reinforcements?
No, I can manage. Well, you finished your exercises for today?
Can you open the gates? B. Smith's hurt.
Open up. Get them back to their cells. How bad is she?
I don't know. She's unconscious.
Get sisters to come and take a look at her and tell her to bring a stretcher.
This is another thing we've got Georgie to thank for. Bloody little hothead.
Look, she's not the only one to blame, you know. It doesn't take much for that lot to be at each other's throats. Oh, God, I hope she's going to be all right.
How bad is Smith?
She's in with the sister. She's still unconscious, so she must have been hit pretty hard.
Oh, I didn't like the sound of that. Just to be on the safe side, we better send her to be x-rayed. Will you organise for an ambulance to take her to hospital, and I'll arrange for a clearance for her transfer?
They'll probably have to take her to hospital.
None of this would have happened if Judy had wanted to take over.
It had nothing to do with me. I've told you time and time again I'm not interested in taking over. It's not my scene and it never will be.
That's right. Judy tried to stay out of the whole thing.
It was us others. She didn't want to take over.
We're all to blame for acting like a pack of kids. Fancy Georgie trying to blame you for what happened to B. I mean, she's the one who started the blue.
Oh, she only sparked it off. It's been coming for a long time.
Yeah, but it was Georgie's stirring that got everybody on edge. And she knows how safe she is because she's tucked under B's wing.
Yeah, well, I'm damned if I'm going to feel guilty about it. They brought it on themselves. They get so damn bored in here that they grab at the least little chance for drama. Oh. The whole thing's so stupid.
What happened in there?
Oh, God knows. One minute they were having dinner quietly and the next pandemonium. How's Smith?
Oh, I don't like the look of it. She's got a very bad bruise on her head. Any idea what she was hit with?
Oh, none at all. I didn't even know she was injured until it was all over.
Must have been something heavy. She's still unconscious. I can't bring her round. She really will have to go to hospital for x-rays. There's nothing more I can do for her here.
Bill, I thought I'd better warn you to expect an ambulance at the front gate in a couple of minutes. No, mate, one of the inmates. Yeah, and there'll be a police escort arriving too. Yeah, lots of excitement, but who needs it, eh? I'll be in the examination room.
Oh, Mr. Fletcher, have you rung for the ambulance yet?
Yes, and the police escort's on the way too.
Well, I'm afraid they'll all have to wait for quite a while.
Wait, why?
I've been on to the department, and because of Smith's record of attempted escapes, they will not sanction her transfer to the hospital.
But the woman's unconscious. I mean, she could have concussion, brain damage, anything.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing I can do about it at the moment without the department's official approval.
But that's crazy.
Look, I've been trying to get Ted Douglas because I know he will arrange it. But his secretary said he's just left for an appointment and can't be contacted for quite some time.
And in the meantime, what? Look, what if I go with Smith?
Well, it won't make any difference. She cannot leave Wentworth without the official approval.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Davidson. I was just about to come and see you.
Well, what's the situation?
Not too good. As you can see, she's still unconscious. She must have been hit very hard. I really would recommend she be taken to hospital for x-rays.
Well, there's an ambulance on the way, but the department, in their great wisdom, has decided she can't be moved in case she knocks out the driver and escapes.
Well, I'm afraid I can't take responsibility for what will happen to her if she doesn't go. Oh, now take it easy. A bad bump on the head. Now, you're in the examination room. How are you feeling?
Like I've been hit by a truck.
We're arranging for you to go to hospital for treatment and x-ray.
No, bother, I don't need any treatment.
I'm afraid it's not up to you. It's our responsibility to make sure you get the necessary medical treatment.
Listen, no, I don't want any treatment. I don't want doctors pouring over me.
It's for your own good, Smith. The sister's worried that you might have concussion or something even worse.
You really should go, just to be on the safe side.
No, I know how I'm feeling. I don't need any x-rays. I'm not going.
Very well, Smith. If you're determined not to go, I must insist that you sign a declaration stating that you refuse to accept the prescribed medical treatment.
Yeah, I'll sign it.
Mr. Fletcher, would you cancel the ambulance and police escort, please?
When can I go back?
That depends on Sister Johnson.
Well, I'd certainly like to keep her under observation till tomorrow morning.
Very well. You behave yourself, Smith.
I will, Mrs. Davidson. The rest will do me good. I'm liable to need it.
Well, that's great news. Well, thanks for letting me know. Yes, I'll be in touch with her right away. Thanks once again.
How's the head?
It's fine now.
Good.
That job I got for Margot Gaffney's still available. Well, that should make her happy.
Why do you bother with them once they're on their own?
That's why. Because they're on their own.
Is it enough to have to put up with them in here all day without having to look after them once they've been released as well?
If more care were taken with them on the outside, then we'd have less to look after in here.
Come on, don't kid yourself. There'll always be an endless supply of them breaking their necks or somebody else's to get in here.
Any news of B. Smith?
Yeah, she's regained consciousness. But she still refuses to take x-rays. Normally, any one of them would jump at the chance to get out of here.
What do you think's going on?
Well, I think it's the power struggle. She's afraid to be away from this place for too long in case she gets toppled.
Well, if that's true, that riot in the dining room this afternoon could only lead to more trouble.
Yeah.
What's Mrs. Davidson going to do about the blow-up?
Well, she says they can be allowed out for dinner, but they're to assemble first in the rec room for one of her pep talks.
Well, it's going to take more than a pep talk to solve this problem.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of infighting before they work it out amongst themselves. The best we can do is to stop them from killing each other in the process. Oh, by the way, we're all to be on guard duty during the pep talk.
What? I'm supposed to knock off at 5?
Not tonight, Josephine.
It's a great setup. The paymaster from the shoe factory goes to the bank every Thursday, 1 o'clock on the dot, to pick up the money for the wages.
Does anyone go with him?
One of the girls from the office drives him. They have to park half a block away from the bank and walk the rest. That's when we get him.
What happens to the girl?
She's just a kid, there'll be no problem with her. You'll drive up level. Me and Bazza jump out, grab the day back in the car, $20,000 in a hot little hands. It's a perfectly simple plan.
What happens to the bloke and the girl?
What do you mean? Nothing happens. I'll be so surprised I won't know what hit him.
You're going to bash him? Because if you are, I'm telling you now.
No one's going to get hurt. At worst, I'll be pushed over. You know me. I never hurt anyone unless I had to.
What about Basil? It's always struck me as a bit of a dill.
Yeah, well, he doesn't seem too bright, but inside he's got a mind like a steel trap.
Yeah? The only time I ever saw it, it was snapped shut.
No. When we was in Pentridge, he made this revolver out of pipes and bits and pieces he'd found lying around the place. It was terrific. Then the screws found it.
Where'd he have it hidden?
Under his pillow.
So much for the steel trap.
Now, Baz is the man for the job. Besides, he owes me a favour.
What did you do for him?
I covered up for him when they found the pistol.
How?
I told the screws I saw one of the guys planting it under his pillow.
You lagged?
Well, the little poof deserved it. He was cheating on his regular boyfriend. Now, don't worry about Basil. He's, level-headed.
I think the word you're searching for is flat.
These hurt bad because those bastards in the dining room, they wish they'd never been born.
What you have in mind?
Oh, I've got tricks up my sleeve they never heard of.
Now, you listen to me, young lady.
Don't you call me a young lady.
You've caused nothing but trouble to yourself and everyone else in the place since the minute you arrived. Now, you just lay off.
If Bea wants to get back at anybody, she'll do it in her own way, in her own time. If it hadn't been for you causing all that trouble, we wouldn't have had any in the first place.
Oh, crap! No one tells me what to do.
Well, they wouldn't have to if you acted normal.
Oh, what's normal? Someone to get trodden on.
Right. You're to assemble in the rec room. The governor wishes to speak to you before dinner.
Mrs. M, how's Bea?
She's regained consciousness. She seems to be all right.
Didn't they send her to hospital?
They wanted to, but she refused to go.
Oh, she's tough. She doesn't do nothing she doesn't want to.
Yes, we'll see how tough she is if she has a relapse. Now, come along. I haven't got all night.
I do not have to remind you that you are in here because of crimes committed against society. This is a prison, not a holiday camp.
Say that again.
There are rules and regulations which must be followed. Any further outbreaks, like that disgraceful display of violence in the dining room today, will not be tolerated. As a result, one of the prisoners was very badly injured, as well as Mrs. Morris.
I know that. No, it's really...
As punishment, there will be no buy-up privileges for 2 weeks, and a fine will be deducted from each prisoner's wages to cover the damage to government property. I would also like to point out that in an institution like this, it is inevitable that some personalities are stronger than others and therefore emerge as apparent leaders of the group. I would remind you that the only bosses are myself and my staff, and will only be tolerated as long as they abide by the rules.
I hope you heard that.
Because of the staff situation, you will be allowed to eat in the dining room tonight. But if there is the slightest sign of any disturbance, the room will be cleared and you will all be returned to your cells, regardless of whether you have eaten or not. Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. You may carry on.
Mrs. Davidson. On behalf of the women, I'd like to say that we're sorry for all the trouble we caused. We realise now we had nothing to gain from it.
You're quite right, Bryant.
Yes, and we'd also especially like to apologise to Mrs. Morris. We have no argument with her.
That is always the problem with outbreaks like this. People are killed or badly injured for very little reason.
How's Bea, Mrs. Davidson? She going to be all right?
Apparently so. But she's being kept in the hospital overnight for observation.
Oh, that's good.
All right, everybody, settle down. You're all to wait here until the dinner bell.
Not interested in being boss, eh? How come you stuck your beak in then?
Because I felt that somebody should apologise, and it was obvious that none of you lot were.
Yeah. Why didn't you? I wasn't sorry. I don't apologise to Screws, Stretch.
Lay off, will you, Georgie? We're in enough trouble as it is already. Look, this has all gone far enough. And for starters, we're going to have to take that buy-up stuff back to where it belongs.
Come along, ladies. You heard the bell. Up!
Be chewing on the coffee table by now.
Oh, you must be getting used to disruption since you were married.
Well, he could live without them.
Couldn't we all?
Oh, Jim, by the way, I'll be a bit late tomorrow morning. I just want to tell Gaffney that job is still open for her.
Well, can't you phone?
The phone's been disconnected. I'll only be about an hour late.
Oh, I'd prefer it if you weren't.
I am supposed to be the official careers officer around here, and I have done my share of overtime lately. Surely I'm entitled to some leeway. I mean, it's not as though I'm gallivanting around enjoying myself. I'm still working.
All right. Keep your shirt on. I'll get someone to cover for you.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Wayne? I was just wondering, what are we going to do with the money afterwards? Listen to me. The money. What are we going to do with it afterwards?
I thought we'd throw it on the floor and make mad, passionate love on it.
Seriously?
I don't know. Pay back Maxie, buy a few pretties, take a trip maybe. How do you feel about Japan?
We wouldn't get as far as the bus stop.
We'll take the plane.
Wayne, love, we can't go spreading the money around straight away. It'll be hot. Cops have got stoolies all over the joint. Won't take them long to work out where it's coming from.
What about Maxie? He's not going to sit around and wait for his day. That's why we're doing the job.
I reckon I can talk him into laundering the dough. We pay him, and then we get him to spread the word around that we're still broke. That way no one will be any the wiser.
What about the rest of it?
Well, I thought we could put that in a safety deposit box under a false name, and we leave it there for 12 months till the heat's off.
What do we do for brass in the meantime?
We work. I've still got my job, and you can pick up something if you try. The main thing is that we're free of Maxie and his mugs. Don't worry. The next 12 months will go by easy. From then on, it's plain sailing.
12 months is a long time.
Well, as long as it'll be in the can if the cops get onto us with the money.
Hey, you're a pretty cluey lady. What else you pick up in Wentworth?
Nothing you need to worry about.
Got an idea. Tomorrow I'll borrow Baz's car, take you out and show you the layout for the job. With your brains, you might pick up something we missed.
What about Basil?
Now, he used to go with one of the girls from the factory. Can't take a chance on being recognised.
Perhaps it's just as well. I seem to be the only person that's thought this job through.
Hey!
Oh, hey! Well, I haven't had a reception like that since I lost my knickers at the football club picnic.
How are you feeling?
Fit as a fiddle.
Now remember, Smith, any dizziness or headaches, you report straight to the sister. It could be concussion.
I'll be okay. I thought you'd never go.
Oh, what's up, B?
I've got a splitting headache.
You said you woke up.
Oh, until the screws it, haven't I? Packed me off to hospital straight off.
You heard what Fletch said?
Look, it's not concussion, it's just a headache. Oh, crikey. I'm not going to any hospital. Jude and the mob just love that opportunity, wouldn't they?
Oh, but that's all over now. Jude was just as worried about you as we were, and you're still top dog.
Yeah, and all our stuff's been given back.
Jude fixed that too, and just as well. Because of that bust-up, we lost all our privileges for 2 weeks.
So I was wrong about Jude, and so are you. Oh, I better make it up to her, I suppose. And look, just to make sure there are no hard feelings, we'll share our buy-up stuff with the ones that haven't got any.
Oh, no.
Look, Georgie, most of this happened because of you. Now, don't go complaining about the price you have to pay. You're getting off lightly, if you ask me. I go and see Jude.
Oh, B! Oh, you've got to go to hospital.
No, I'll go. Look, I'll be all right. Just let me have a rest, will you?
B!
Look, no wonder I've got a headache with you yapping all around me. Just go away, will you go? Let me rest in peace. I'll be all right. Go on.
They gone out.
Pardon?
In the car.
The lady too?
Oh, yeah, her too. In the car.
Didn't know they had a car.
Oh, wouldn't know. See it parked out there sometimes. See another fella driving it too. Not today, though.
Oh.
Just him and her.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Well, why won't she go to hospital?
Well, first she was worried about Jude, but that's all been straightened out. Where is Jude?
She's out working in the garden. She's lucky. She can pick who she wants to work with.
Why don't you shove that wrist down your throat? You can help me collect the dirty linen now. You push the trolley.
She's a smart-ass little bitch.
It's not all her fault the way she is, you know.
Well, that's a different tune coming from you.
Well, I've been thinking. Took a lot of guts for her to survive the childhood I gave her. Poor little bugger didn't have much of a chance. Being on the game was the only work I knew. Know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do.
I'm get out of the tunnel. Get out. I gotta get out. There's no air. No air. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Wake up, love. It's Lizzie. You're all right. Now you've got out of the drain. Wake up.
Oh, babe. What's the matter?
We were coming down the corridor and we heard you screaming.
Rubbish.
Hey, you were. You were talking about not breathing or something.
Rubbish. I wasn't even dreaming. Where do you get off waking me up in the middle of a sleep anyway, you two? Come on, you get out of here. Leave me alone. Come on, you get out and leave me alone.
So I called into her place on my way to work this morning, but she wasn't at home. A neighbour said she and her boyfriend had gone out in a car.
Oh, she can't go out without telling you.
Yes, I know, but she seemed so desperate for money the last time I talked with her, and I wanted to tell her about the job I'd lined up.
Well, maybe she was out looking for a job. In any case, as I explained to you, officially I don't want to know anything about your dealings with Margot Gaffney, as she's no longer an inmate. Unofficially, I would suggest you wait until she contacts you. Now, I'd like to talk to you about B. Smith.
Oh, what's wrong? Has she had a relapse?
Not that I've heard of, but I'd like you to keep an eye on her just in case.
Well, there's nothing much we can do if she refuses to go to hospital.
Mr. Douglas has arranged permission for her to go if necessary.
If the department hadn't been so bloody-minded in the first place, we could have had her in an ambulance and on the way to the hospital before she came to.
Sister Johnson is worried that she may still have concussion. So, as I said, I'd like you to keep an eye on her.
Listen, Dor, I reckon Bee's getting worse. Georgie and me were going along the corridor and we heard her yelling out in her sleep. She was in an awful state, having a nightmare about being down that drain.
That's not surprising, Lizzie. I still have nightmares about being in that place.
But this was different. It took us ages to wake her up and she looked awful. I reckon she ought to be in hospital.
Yeah, she's just being stubborn, Lizzie. Look, I'll have a word to her at lunchtime and see if I can talk some sense into her, okay? Georgie, got a minute?
What?
Well, I just think it's pretty stupid you and I going at each other the way we have been, and I was wondering if you were interested in burying the hatchet.
Why?
Well, I've been talking to your mum, and she told me some things that I hadn't really thought about, and she knows she did some awful things to you when you were a kid, but there probably wasn't anything else she could do at the time.
Get on with it.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, well, don't shut her out. You'll regret it one day. She wants to get back with you, Georgie, if you'll only let her.
Who do you think you are lecturing me? I survived pretty well all these years without a mother when I needed her. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't got one I never did have. Just shut up and mind your own business.
You've survived. Look at yourself. Look at me. Is this what you call surviving? No. The bell's not to come out fighting, it's for lunch.
Right, ladies, come on, lunch.
Maureen? I just want to say thanks for trying, but I knew it was no good. I've just got to get used to the idea I don't have a daughter anymore. And it's my own fault.
Yeah, but she could at least give you the chance to make up for it. She's so bloody stubborn. If the dinner bell hadn't have gone, I would have ended up punching her in the face.
Oh, for crying out loud. Are you two at it again? Why don't you lay off? We're in enough trouble as it is.
I'm just trying to get Georgie and Jeannie back together, that's all.
Yeah, well, you know you rub each other up the wrong way. Why don't you just stay out of things that don't concern you?
G'day, Bee. How you feeling now, love?
Oh, much the same. I thought if I had something to eat, I might feel a bit better.
Hi, Bee.
Hi. G'day, Jude.
Hi, Bee.
Look, about our little misunderstanding, I didn't really...
Oh, my God. Bee!
Hi. Saw an ambulance leaving as I was coming in. Who was it for?
B. Smith collapsed.
The stupid bureaucrat in the department hadn't been so tied up with red tape. Smith would have been in hospital by now.
Yeah, oversupplied with staff and undersupplied with common sense.
Yes. Listen, I want to start Georgie Baxter on a special reading class this afternoon.
What for? You're wasting your time.
I don't think so. I think she's basically very bright. And I'm determined to teach her how to read and write before she leaves here.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, she could just regress and drop her studies once she's released.
Well, watch yourself. You might end up with concussion, too, from bashing your head against a brick wall.
Here she comes now, see? Now watch. The same way she does it every week. And exactly the same way her and the paymaster will do it tomorrow. They'll never learn.
Is that the same briefcase they'll be using?
Yep. Today it's empty. She's delivering checks. Tomorrow, about 20 grand. But not for long.
Who's bringing the bolt cutters?
What for?
Have a look at what's hanging from the handle.
Oh, hell, I never noticed that.
You can bet your life he'll be chained to that coast tomorrow. You're going to have to cut him free. I don't fancy driving along with him hanging out of the back door by his wrist. It might look a bit suspicious.
No worries, I'll tee it up with Bazza.
Don't bother. I'd rather do it myself. I want to remind him to take things easy. Don't want anyone hurt.
No worries.
Where is everybody?
There's no one else coming. I purposely rostered the class so that I could devote the whole lesson to teaching you how to read.
Why?
Well, I thought it'd be easier for us to concentrate if there were just the two of us here.
Oh, is that the only reason?
Yes. Don't you want to learn?
Oh, bloody oath. I want to show that stupid bitch mother of mine and the others that I'm not an idiot.
Good girl. Well, let's get to it.
Tell you what, if I can, I'd rather learn to read and write properly than do the pottery class.
Well, that's fine by me.
Oh, great. Well, where do we start?
What the hell are you doing? That's my last pair of pantyhose.
We're making masks for the job.
No one's going to have time to look at your legs, but they might have time to look at your face.
Here are the bolt cutters. I got them at one of the big hardware stores so there'd be less chance of the shop assistant recognising me again.
Smart girl. You see, Bazza? Not just a pretty face. Don't worry, mate. After tomorrow night, you'll have so much brass you'll be able to buy gold-plated pantyhose.
Wayne, I told you. After Maxie gets his dough, no one lays a finger on the rest of it for 12 months. Till the heat's off.
What? Well, what about my share?
Yours too. Make up your mind now. If you don't like it, the deal's off. Cops are bound to get hold of the serial numbers. If we go splashing it round, we'll be up in front of the beak again in no time. And I tell you, I'm not going back to Wentworth for you or for anyone.
Janet.
Hello, Georgie.
Oh, for God's sake, can't I have a moment's peace? What do you want?
I just want to have a word to you in private.
Only word I want to hear from you is goodbye.
Well, as a matter of fact, that is one of them. I leave here tomorrow afternoon.
Good.
Georgie, I know it's too late, and I probably won't ever see you again. But I just want to say I'm sorry I didn't realise you had a hearing problem all those years. And, well, it must have been rotten.
Maybe if you'd had a little bit more time for me, you might have found out.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad it was a success, and now you can do anything you want to do. Don't waste your chances like I did.
At the end of your motherly advice.
Yeah.
Good. And you're right, you won't be seeing me again. You can look forward to a long, lonely old age. And when you die, it'll take them days to find you because there'll be no one around to care.
How's it coming along?
Oh, slow. I'll get there.
I'm sure you will. I've arranged with Mrs. Davidson for you to attend both morning and afternoon classes. I told her that a crash course would be more valuable to you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Good.
Hey, what's this word?
We'll sound out the letters.
K, E, A, S, E, T.
Not bad, but it's a soft C. Ceased. It means to stop. Like the sound ceased, or she ceased to exist. It means she stopped living. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Don't forget this afternoon's class. I suppose you think that Georgie being allowed to attend both classes sounds like favoritism. Georgie needs as much help as she can get and as quickly as possible.
Yeah, why not? Hey, Georgie. You know, your mother seemed pretty upset last night. I don't know what was wrong with her. She just seemed really uptight.
Ah.
Oh, come on, Georgie. She's going to leave in a couple of hours. Why don't you just go in there and say goodbye to her, huh?
What is it? Big kind of rotten Mother's Week? I said goodbye to her last night. As far as I'm concerned, she ceased to exist. Ceased.
Step on it, Margot. We're running behind time.
Right, all right. Get off my back, would ya?
Come on, come on. Come on, what's wrong?
What do you reckon? The engine won't start.
Well, give it some choke, David. Just give it some choke.
Not to choke you. What did you get this wreck for anyway? At least the other one used to go.
If we don't hurry up, we'll never make it. Oh, God, on me planning down the train.
Fancy flagging down a cab? All right, get out the bucket.
What?
Get out, push the bloody thing.
Oh, right.
These new rings.
Shut up and push.
By the way, love, I've just been talking to Mr. Fletcher. Bee's okay, but they're going to keep her in overnight. And thank God for that. I was real worried about her. Huh. They really get their pound of flesh out of you, don't they? Keep you working right up the last minute before you're released.
Oh, I don't mind. Been inside before. Know what to expect. I want this to be the last time, though, Lizzie.
Of course you do, love.
I don't know. It's been different this time. I can see things as they really are. And I think I'm getting too old and too tired for this racket.
Are you giving up the business?
Can't go on forever. Only wish I'd saved more when it was easy to come by. Wish I'd been smarter about a lot of things.
Don't we all? How you going to get by?
Oh, I'll manage. Still got a few friends left. There's at least a dozen ex-clients. They're only too pleased to set me up on something new. You know, something legitimate.
Oh, that'd be nice. How about getting one of them to set you up in a nice sandwich bar?
A sandwich bar? Don't be ridiculous. In my experience, once a whore, always a whore.
You're a dark horse, Miss Bennett. I didn't know that you'd had so much experience in that field.
Get back to work, Birdsworth. I don't know why they're even bothering, but you're to report to the library for your afternoon class.
Georgie?
Thank Christ we made it on time. You better cut the engine. Somebody might get suspicious.
You out of your mind? We'll have to push start it again when they come out of the bank. Now remember, play it cool. And no one's to get hurt.
I don't know. I can't get it.
Now, come on, you're doing well. It's not something that you can expect to pick up in a couple of hours. Try it again.
I can't.
Sound it out. No. We've done this before. What was it you said to me before about showing your mother how you could learn to read? What was it you called her?
Probably a bit.
Right. Now compare that to the word you're trying to read.
Hit.
Right.
Hey, what's time?
About 2. Why?
I wonder if you could do me a favour.
Sure.
Right, if you just sign there. And that's it for now, Baxter.
No, Mr. Fletcher. Believe me, this is going to be the last time.
I'd like $1 for every time I've heard that. What do you think you're doing here? You know you've got no authority to bring a prisoner to reception?
I know, and normally I wouldn't, but there wasn't time to get permission. Georgie wants to say goodbye to her mother.
Very touching, I'm sure. But it still has nothing to do with the fact that it's against regulations for you
Yes,
to
Miss
bring...
Bennett, I'm sure you're right, but under the circumstances, and as she's already here, I'm sure it won't do any harm. All right, you got a minute.
I'd just like to say I hope everything goes okay for you.
Thank you, Georgie. You look after yourself.
Haven't I always?
Yeah. But I mean, well, now you can heal, all right? You can learn. Make something of yourself.
Well, what's the point? I am what I am. Can't change that. Too late.
But it's not. You're still only a kid. You've got your whole life ahead of you.
Don't lecture me.
I'm sorry. I don't suppose you'd change your mind and come and live with me when you get out.
Nah. I'll only fight like we did before. I've got to lead my own life.
Yeah. Well, I better be going.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Georgie.
Hey, do you reckon you could come and visit me? Let me know how you're going?
I'd like that. Bye.
Bye, Mum. Okay, I'm ready now.
Okay, this is it. Let's go.
Chains and push him out.
Quit yakking and get him off me. I can hardly breathe. Where are the cutters?
I thought you had.
They were here.
Bloody hell, you must have left them back there.
Well, that's bloody lovely. What are we going to do now?
I don't know. Look in the toolbox. Find something.
Hang on. See if I can cut through it with this. Jesus, we're going to be here forever.
Cut through the handle.
Use your head. He must have the key on him somewhere.
Where are the keys? Then tell us all.
Bowser!
Where are the keys?
Right side. Oh,
Come on. Now open the door and toss him out.
No! I don't want him hurt any more than he is. Wayne, you promised.
All right, all right. Pull over and move. We'll let him out.
Well, 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 look what we have here. Now, if you ladies behave yourselves and keep quiet, nothing will happen. All right?
Wayne, for God's sake, talk some sense into him. We haven't got a hope in hell of getting out of here. Wayne?
Now, wait a minute. Think about it. The cops will never dare touch us while we've got them to.
What's bothering you?
Nothing. Just bored.
You were more than keen before.
Well, I'm not now. I'm fed up. What's the point anyway?
The point is to be able to get you to read and write, Georgie. I mean, you don't want to go through life not being able to read magazines or newspapers or letters.
No one write to me anyway. If I want to know what's going on, I just watch TV.
There's more to it than that. I'm trying to help you to get yourself a decent job once you leave here. Now, you can't do that if you're illiterate.
Well, don't use them big words with me.
Georgie, if you could learn to read and write, you wouldn't be so frightened of big words. That's what illiterate means, not being able to read and write.
Yeah, well, I've been that way for 19 years and I've managed to get by.
You call being in here getting by? Look, let's make a deal. Now, I did you a favour and got you to see your mother before she left. How about returning the favour and getting back to work?
Shut up! I don't want to let her read and write anymore. Why can't we leave things the way they was?
They were, Georgie. They were.
I'll get stuff!
Affirmative, out.
7-280,
Reinforcements are on the way. Until then, keep your eyes open. I'll bet my badge they got the shopkeeper in there.
I said all along he was an idiot. And idiots are dangerous. Especially when they've got a gun. For God's sake, stop him. We'll get us all killed.
What's happening, Bowser?
Nothing. Just making sure they keep their heads down, that's all.
There's nothing to worry about. He's not firing to hit him.
Tell the cops that. I'm sure it'll make them feel a lot better.
Well, don't you see? Having the gun is their only chance of getting out of here.
I said no guns. No one was to get hurt.
No one's gonna get hurt. But we'll need it if we're gonna use them as hostages.
Don't worry. Neither of you'll get hurt as long as I can help it. Ah! What happened? Wayne, you all right?
Bloody hell.
The briefcase was booby-trapped. Oh!
What's this?
That's impossible.
What is it?
You said there'd be 20 grand in there. We'd be lucky if there's bloody 2.
I don't understand it. Well, you know the size of the shoe factory. Must be over 100 people working there. The payroll would have to be bigger than that.
Well, where the hell is it?
It's the payroll from the shoe factory. I can tell you why there isn't more.
Why?
Well, if you read the papers or watched the news on television, you'd know. The bootmakers' union's been on strike for 2 weeks.
Here. Take this, keep me covered. Be buggered if I'm going to get caught for a couple of lousy grand.
Where you going?
I've got to get something out of the car.
What?
Never you mind. Look, just keep me covered.
Wayne, don't do it. Put the gun down. Throw it outside. Let's give ourselves up. Please. Wayne!
Listen, you coppers! Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Well, you listen good, you hear? We got a couple of old grannies in here as hostages. And if even one of us gets scratched, one of them gets it. You understand?
Are they all right?
They are so far. But if you don't quit shooting, I can't promise anything.
Where did you get that stuff from?
Out of the car. Boys believe in being prepared just as well, because the only way we're going to get ourselves out of this is with these. Here.